Hi, I'm Billy of the Fuji Guys. Today we're going to unbox the brand new Fujifilm XQ2 camera. This is Fuji's compact camera. It's a premium compact camera that has some very good high quality capabilities in terms of its sensor technology and its processor technology. Let's take a look at some of the contents that are included with the XQ2. Today we're going to unbox the Fujifilm XQ2. This is the black version of the camera, denoted by this icon in the front saying, of course, that it's in black. It does come in two different color options. Again, it's based on availability within the country that sells the XQ2. So not all three colors will be sold in that country, but again, we're unboxing the black version. So let's take a look at the contents inside. Of course, the first thing that you're going to see is basically the warranty information as well as the owner's manual. In fact, it's just a really quick start guide. The owner's manual can be found, of course, online from the Fujifilm support site. We have the camera right here, the XQ2. So I'm just going to take that out from its protective seal. And I'll just leave that there for a second. Inside the content, of course, there's also a wall charger here. And the wall charger is dual voltage. As you can see, there's nothing here because it does come with a plug adapter. So the plug adapter will, of course, snap onto the charging unit itself. And dependent on the country that you purchase the XQ2 from, it's going to include the appropriate prong adapter. So I'm going to snap that in place. As you can see here that, again, this is dual voltage. So you can take this on your travels and not have to worry about electricity. However, of course, you need to have the right adapter plug, which you can obviously pick up. In order to charge the camera, there comes a USB cable. So the USB cable is a micro USB. And the micro USB, of course, has a standard USB connection that goes onto your computer, as well as the micro connection that goes onto the side of this camera right here. And if you can just lift the tab, you can see it actually plugs right into it. So the camera is charged via this USB connection. And again, there's a USB slot here where you attach it onto, and that plugs to the wall. And it generally takes about 4 hours of charging to fully charge the batteries. And that's, of course, one way of doing it, but you can also plug this end into your computer. And of course, you can charge the camera via your USB connection. So even though you're downloading images, it's also keeping the batteries charged on the camera, which is, of course, a nice option to have. What's also included is the rechargeable lithium battery. It's an NP48 battery. It has about 960 milliamps battery capacity. So it does give this camera a pretty decent shot-to-shot time. But if you are traveling, I recommend you pick up an additional battery for your travels. And of course, the camera is going to come with a hand strap. So the hand strap, of course, will slide into the side here of this camera, as you can see. And all you have to do is take this little loop. I don't really think it matters which direction you put it in from, so I'm just going to stick it from the front end again and slide it right through. And then from that point, you can, of course, loop that like this. And now it is there. So it's going to be, of course, hanging on your hands, okay? So in order to start the camera the first time, of course, it does have some internal memory, but you do have to pick up an SD card. It supports SD, SDHC, as well as XC cards, all the way up to 120 gig cards, and possibly larger when cards become available. So the batteries, of course, is going to match the orange tab right there with the orange tab here. And of course, you got the contacts going in to the camera. So if the camera doesn't start up, make sure you have everything, the batteries at least in correctly. There's also a slot inside here for your SD card as well. So closing that, we're going to close it and we're going to lock the lid here. Just below that, you see there's an HDMI connection cover, and that allows you to connect it to your HD TV to play back videos and photos. Unfortunately, it doesn't give you a live view to the TV, so it's only for playback. It's a micro HDMI connection here, so you probably have to pick up an adapter or even buy a micro HDMI to standard HDMI cable. Okay, turning on the camera, of course, when you turn it on, With the power button on, it's going to ask you a few things like the language. You can use the directional pad here. You can rotate it, or you can push up and down to select the language. And of course, you can select the power management option. With the power save mode, it's going to obviously reduce the brightness of the screen and maybe slow down the autofocus performance. So you probably want to have it at high performance. And the camera's ready to go. As you can see, there's 70 shots available in the standard settings here that it's set to as by default, which means you can take pictures right away. Of course, I do recommend you pick up an SD card for the camera. To take the photo, of course, you got your shutter button on top, and you push halfway down to focus and all the way down to take the photos. Your zoom controls are right here. You can zoom in, zoom out. Okay, you got your mode dials up here as well, so you can travel through and select the different shooting options, including a SR Plus auto mode that detects the scene, changes focusing, and changes exposure for that particular scene. You got your flash options right there to take a photo, and of course you can set the different flash modes through these dials right here. To take a photo again, you take the button, you push halfway down, and you shoot. To playback images, you push the playback button. And from that point, again, you can use the rotating dial here to go between pictures. You can use the zoom rock on top to zoom in on the pictures. And then once you zoom in, you can use the directional pads to basically pan left and pan right on the camera. To delete an image, you push up right away, and you can select from multiple frames, all frames, or the current frame. So I'm going to delete this current frame. It's going to ask me to confirm again. I'm going to push OK. If you ever accidentally push that button, you want to get out of it, you can always push the back display button right here, and it gets you out of the situation. And of course, if you don't know what to push, just turn the camera off so that you don't accidentally delete your images. If you're in playback mode and you want to go back to capturing photos, you can just tap the shutter button halfway down, and it starts the camera up again. To do videos, you push the video record button right here. As you can see, you can take photos during videos. And then to stop the videos, you can, of course, push the record button once again to stop it. The faster the card you have, of course, the faster the write time it is to the camera. Pushing the playback button, with anything that has a video, it will be denoted with these little film strips. So you push down, and then you can play the video. You can push down to pause. You can actually push left and right to kind of slow-mo the scene. You can push up to stop the video. So again, this is just a quick unboxing of the Fujifilm XQ2. So there you have it with the XQ2. You do get everything you need to start shooting with its internal memory. You can get some shots right off the bat, but I recommend you do pick up a memory card. It supports SD, SDHC, as well as XC cards. For more information about this product, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Twitter at Fuji Guys. Until then, I'm Billy of the Fuji Guys.